good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, because you're always looking for and finding the good, you found good in abundance because you consciously and conscientiously tune into Eye on Las Vegas with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy. And you tuned into the show for one reason only. Best reason in the whole world, because you care the most, the entire world, about you. Y-O-U. And that's great, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. You're going to revel in this being that you're going to meet in just a little bit. Wonderful Valerie, and what she's talking about, because it just touches the very essence of the human condition, which is for freedom and liberty and allegiance and gratitude. That's the acronym for FLAG, and we're waving it today because, first of all, it's the 250th anniversary of the United States, and what we're going to talk about, Freedom Fest, is the essence of all of that. Before we bring on amazing Valerie, I just want to make mention of people. Whenever I mention Las Vegas, people lean in, open their eyes, and say, tell me more. Well, let me tell you one little wonderful data point. If you take the entire population of New York City, everybody around it, the entire population of Chicago, everybody around it, the entire population of Los Angeles, everybody around it, add in the entire population of the state of Florida, doesn't equal the number of people that come to Las Vegas in a year. 41 million people come here. Why? Sex, gambling? Okay, no, that's not the reason. The reason is because it's a place of energy. It's a place of opportunity. It's a place where things are happening. This is the focal point, the fulcrum, that lever that can move the world that we know as Las Vegas. And there's nobody that's going to talk to us about freedom, which is the essence of Las Vegas, more so than the amazing, wonderful, fabulous, good friend, Valerie.
Hello, Barry.
She embodies exuberance.
Oh, my goodness.
Valerie and her family. Valerie is the CEO, one of the founders of Freedom Fest. Learning, experiencing now, and everybody around the world wants to be here in Las Vegas for the 4 or 5 days that the show is on, from July 8th to 11th on the year 2026. So if you're watching this a century from now and say, wow, that was something interesting. Yes, because things happened at Freedom Fest. So everybody wants to be there, and maybe you can access it online. We'll talk to Valerie about that. Let's just jump right in and say, Valerie, first of all, it's a delight and an honor, a privilege to have you here. And let's just ask you the big question. Ready?
I'm ready.
Freedom Fest. Okay, it's another convention. What is unique? What's a unique? What is unique about Freedom Fest?
Yeah, Freedom Fest really is unique because we look at freedom in a different way, and I think the right way. We look at freedom as a 360-degree experience around each individual. It's not just about political freedom. That's certainly very important, and most people get very caught up in political freedom to the point that there's a lot of divisiveness. And we find that that's not actually helpful. So we look at freedom politically, but also economically, financially. We look at health freedom, intellectual freedom, spiritual and religious freedom, freedom of expression, cultural and social freedom. That's how you experience freedom as a human being, a human individual. And so we talk about all of those things at Freedom Fest. We invite everyone who cares about freedom in any direction you care about it to come to Freedom Fest, to learn, share, network, and celebrate freedom together. It is such a place of harmony. We can disagree, but we can do so from a place of let's learn from each other. Let's be productive. Let's be positive. And that is such a difference between so much of what gets discussed in freedom. Either it's an echo chamber or it's a war zone. And Freedom Fest is neither.
So first of all, one of the reasons that I am just so deeply touched that Valerie is here is because she is clear, concise, compelling. You just heard it. Why is Freedom Fest unique and special? And it's, thank God we have a worldwide audience, 500,000 people. And I always urge people, share this with five people you care about. You want to share with 50 or 100? That's really great. We love it. Share with five. That way we can touch 2.5 million people around the world with this very moment. And one of the things that I mentioned is everybody wants to live in America. Well, you don't have to physically live here. What you want is the American mindset. And Valerie just put that into the palm of your hand by making you aware. And it's critical. Freedom, people think, is a political issue. Okay, that is a part of it. When we talk about a spectrum, when you talk about spectral colors, it all begins with one seeming color, white. It's really not white, it's colorless. We break it into the beautiful spectral colors. That's right. It affects your physically, mental, spiritual attitudes of life. People come here to Freedom Fest, and again, in Las Vegas, it's the best place to have it because they get to express, learn, as you say, and begin to germinate seeds and say, maybe. So let's just talk about, first of all, since it is a group, how many people are we talking about? 300, 500, 5,000?
We get between 2,000 and 3,000 people coming to Freedom Fest. And what's really cool is we have about 200 speakers who come to Freedom Fest. Think about that alone. Most conferences will have a few headliners and maybe a handful of other speakers. We really tap into the expertise of the people doing the work to bring us more freedom. This year, we started identifying ourselves as the World's Fair of Liberty.
Oh, I like that.
Growth. And it's so perfect for Las Vegas, right? Where you have so many icons of past World's Fairs, things like a Space Needle, a Ferris wheel, the Eiffel Tower, other things that are related to the history of World's Fair. But here we are with the World's Fair of Liberty, which means we're bringing you the cutting edge of what's happening in freedom. Again, in those different financially, what's happening to bring us more financial freedom, what's happening politically to bring us more political freedom, and across the board with innovation and entrepreneurship. So that's what's really exciting and what brings people together to have this experience at Freedom Fest. And so these speakers are sharing what they're doing. They might be authors you've never heard of, but are doing tremendous work, and you're going to be interested. They might be people like Steve Forbes that you've heard of before, and now you're hearing where he thinks freedom is going. You might be tapping into John Mackey, who was the CEO and co-founder of Whole Foods. What he did to innovate entrepreneurship in our food supply is incredible. And you might also want to hear from someone like a Patrick Byrne or an Alexander McCoben or a Jeff Berwick. I mean, there are so many interesting people doing interesting things coming to Freedom Fest, and you get to hear from them firsthand, which I think is also very special in this day and age. It's wonderful to be able to see you, Barry, but I can't wait until we are in each other's presence and get to feel that energy. And I always say you can't Zoom a handshake. So this opportunity for your community to come together at Freedom Fest and they get to meet you, that would be really cool because you're going to be at Freedom Fest.
It's very cool. And so let me ask you, will people be able to access it online in real time or afterwards pay a small fee or something like that?
Yeah, so Freedom Fest is an in-person event. And so we do not stream it. During the event, we record the main stage videos, and then our streaming platform, Civil, does make those available a few weeks later. So there is a way, if you can't make it to Freedom Fest, you can access the amazing content that happens there. And I do recommend that. We've got the information on our website, freedomfest.com. But again, that energy of being in the room, when someone, last year and the year before, we had RFK Jr. come, and to hear him in the room speaking so passionately about his vision for health in America. And now we have people like Del Bigtree coming, Alex Mayer, and so many others, Twyla Brazy, doing important work. We're doing a whole dinner called The Freedom to Try. And this will relate to the people in Las Vegas and Nevada very well. So there's an effort, and Freedom Fest is hosting a dinner about this effort through Zetiogenesis about the freedom to try and the importance of allowing medical innovation and people to engage with different medical innovative practices to help with degenerative diseases like Parkinson's disease and others. We have to give the people the right to try. And although that's a federal principle, it's only been used 18 times in almost 45 years of its existence. And we're trying to change that in Nevada, where Nevada would become a right to try state. So there's an important dinner and a whole health freedom track going on at FreedomFest this year, because if you, and you know this better than anyone, Barry, how important health freedom is
Right.
to your experience of life.
So let's unpack a few things. People who are listening from Bangladesh, Pakistan, the Congo, we have people all over Nepal, Latin America.
Civil is for them. And
Right.
the principles of freedom, they need to understand what we're going for, because you can take that into your own communities. And so it's also very important, the philosophy. And then you can also join on civil and see all the main stage action.
So, and everything is, by the way, you don't throw anything down. It's all in the show notes. You'll have access to it. And I urge you not just to share this with 5 people that you love. You hear that? Actually, 4 people you love, 1 person you don't like.
Yeah, they need it most.
Right. And the other point is that you really want to listen to this a second time, and you pause, take some notes, and the third time, because that's the sign of a winner. That now you're internalizing, utilizing, leveraging it. You mentioned John Mackey. Let's just riff on him just for a moment, because it's really fun. I've had the pleasure of meeting him and conversing with him about certain things. And in addition to being a founder of a world-class brand name that Amazon lusted for years and finally acquired, John did shift the process of people's thinking about food as a health benefit, a medicinal process. He did that. And now that he has sold that company to Amazon, he has the freedom to forge forward in his pursuit of long life.
That's right.
The whole
total wellness.
Yeah, well, it's in the show notes. So again, I want to mention that because this is the mindset of the entrepreneur. Absolutely. And the entrepreneur is almost exclusively the domain of the American mindset. Because that's what America is about. Yes. America says, go out there and try. You know something? You fall down, pick yourself up. You fall down, pick yourself up. It's a famous line in Proverbs, which says, a righteous person falls 7 times and gets up every time.
Every time.
A righteous person, not just basic, the people who try. You're in the arena. So, Valerie, let's talk about, as you said, there'll be 200 speakers. And people will actually be able to mill around them and even ask you questions and such. Okay, the ones on the big stage, less so, but still available. And you mentioned there's somebody, a keynote speaker. Who's that? Kelsey Grammer?
Kelsey Grammer is joining us this year, and he's going to be talking about his new project, the American Revelation Foundation. He's very concerned about the state of civics, allegiance, patriotism, and a true understanding of the founding principles of this country. And he's taking that on in a really big way. So he'll be on the main stage Saturday morning, and then is doing 2 fundraisers with us later that day, a luncheon where you could sit and have lunch with Kelsey Grammer, and later a reception where you could sit and have a sip of sherry with Fraser. So I think that'll be really fun. And he's super amazing. We have a slew of other celebrities.
Well, before you do that, put your pause. We have, thank God, people who love the show. They sponsor it. We vet them. We wouldn't have them if they're worthy of your time and attention. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Valerie after this brief message. Don't go away.
Hey, quick pause. If something you just heard made you stop and think, don't let that moment pass. Because that shift, that awareness, is the doorway to real joy. Barry Shore has put together a free ebook with simple, powerful strategies to help you live in joy every day. Go to barryshore.com and download your free copy now, because one small shift can change everything.
Good day. beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. You're good-looking because you're always looking for finding the good. We found good in abundance. Her name is wonderful Valerie. Our cup runneth over with good. I'm already feeling,
Thank you, Barry.
it's so wonderful. So Valerie is about to tell us something of great interest. I just want to mention something. People oftentimes have a name that actually expresses who they are. Valerie is the feminine of the word valorous.
That's right.
She is. I mean, she's a warrior.
I'm on the front lines out there.
Yes, and by the way, on the front line, which is not simple, not easy, and by the way, it's not supposed to be. It doesn't have to be, because
the worthy work has density. We'll say.
Woo!
Barry, you were saying something earlier that I think is really an interesting mindset that I'm sure most of your audience understands. And I want to say it out loud, because what is great about the Freedom Fest audience and your audience and you is this understanding that not all people share. Not everyone is privy to this mindset, but it is the difference maker. And that is when you see something incorrect, when you see something immoral, when you see something unjust, you do something about it. You take action. And that is the mindset of an entrepreneur and a mindset of an independent person. This year, our theme is think independent, not think independently and not think independence, although it's related, of course, to the celebration of the 250th, but to think independent, to be that independent mind that is willing to build something better in response to something that you see that's wrong. And too many in our society today see something that they think is wrong, and either they're wrong about it, or all they do is complain, or they throw rocks, or they throw vicious words, or they will rail on social media that has no substance. It's throwing something beautiful into the void. It has nothing, honestly. And I say this with respect for the attempt. A lot of people think if they say something on a social media post, it makes a difference. And I'm saying it doesn't. People are so entrenched. But what does make a difference is if you see something difficult, you make something better. And I'm going to say one of our beautiful sponsors this year is a group led by Steve Everest, a beautiful entrepreneur. He has a group called Integrally. And he's building a platform where people can discuss, and you rank the post based on how much integrity the response has. So a response that's, oh, you loser, you're such a troglodyte, drops. And responses that have respect, even if they disagree, are respectful and say, I take issue with this because of this fact, this fact, this fact. What is your response? Those lift up. That's integrity. And he is building something better in response to a problem he sees. And those are the kinds of people that are all over Freedom Fest. People with this positive mindset of let's make something better to build up our freedom. What a beautiful thing.
So I want to make mention that Valerie is a speaker of truth. And the most important part that she gave us twofold. Number one, action is the sign of a winner. Grumbling and complaining is the opposite. Action is the sign of a winner. You see something, for instance, small thing that taught to me when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. I saw my father doing it, and it sticks with me to this very day. He picked up, if he saw litter on the ground, he didn't walk past it. He didn't complain, grumble. He picked it up and did something. Mm-hmm. And I still do that to this very day. So if you see litter, pick it up. Wow, that's going to shift your entire world. Just make mention very quickly. Right now, we have people coming from all over the world for World Cup. right?
Yes.
And there was something that went viral throughout the world, or certainly in America, about a group of Japanese that were
Yes, cleaning up after themselves instead of rioting and throwing trash in the street.
Right, they had little bags in their
Yep.
pockets to be trash bags, even just by their seat. The point is, you see something, the essence of America is FBC, faster, better, cheaper. The other thing is Valerie's urging everybody to become mad. Go mad. What? Yes. Mad skills will make a difference.
Make a difference.
You want to make a difference in this world. And the best way to do it is, first of all, to smile, because that's reflecting your inner being. Number two is listen to others and speak respectfully. And as she mentioned, so vital. Oh, here's what I think you said. And these are the reasons why I think you might want to consider this, or why I think this may be wrong. That's okay. You can say those words.
That's right.
Give your reasons. Don't just say, well, you know something.
That's right.
It's like picking up litter. You want to make sure that the place is cleaner than we came there.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Valerie. I would like to ask you, something is going on. We only have a few more minutes. There is a wave at the moment, or it seems to be a wave. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a trickle. But it's gaining some above the waterline recognition because of the election of mayor of New York, who was an avowed, declared, what he called Democrat socialist. So for me, I think that's an oxymoron, and that a socialist is a socialist. And socialism is that which is closest adjacent to communism. Okay, they're not exactly the same, but they're certainly blood related.
Yeah.
Would you be kind enough to just comment a little bit on this process of Democratic Socialists of America really going after large mayoral seats in the United States? Because they reckon they're very smart. Hello, you want to take over stuff? Become the mayor of an important city. Would you be kind enough to comment on that?
This is such an important issue, and it's one that we take on at Freedom Fest with all of these interesting people that we bring together. And we'll have several actually, John Mackey is debating a socialist at Freedom Fest, capitalism versus socialism. That'll be a very interesting debate. But I'll tell you, we've gotten ourselves into a situation in America where too many of our young people in particular, and a lot of people who have come to America from other places, which I really appreciate immigration. I think it's a founding principle of our country and one that should be embraced, and one that I really appreciate. However, I think the immigration that we've experienced recently has shifted, and too many see America as a place where they should receive instead of offer. And it's really in the offering, like we were talking about, the building, the creating action where America really thrives. And we've gotten this dynamic of telling our young people that they should be receiving. They should be receiving free things. And there is such a fundamental lack of understanding of free market, true free market economics. And there's been a projection of what's going on now, which is crony capitalism embedded with an overbloated government that has really taken over, and they keep demonizing capitalism and free markets with something that is not actually capitalism and free markets. And as a result, they say, see, capitalism isn't working. It's unfair. We're pitting trillionaires against people who are in the lowest income brackets, which, by the way, just so everyone knows, the fact that someone else has money does not keep money from you. Everybody needs to understand that.
What Valerie just,
for all of us.
what Valerie just put out is part and parcel of the human condition since the beginning of Adam and Eve. And that is envy is one of the most negative forces in the world.
That's right.
Now, it could be that if you have envious eyes, that you see the world as zero-sum game, meaning there's a finite pie.
Yeah.
And it could be true in dictatorial societies and communist societies, socialist societies.
Mm-hmm.
The United States of America is unlike that.
No.
We
You do something that creates value, more wealth is created. Wealth is created by your actions. So the fact that someone else has, and even people that they claim are hoarding money, okay, nobody makes money without creating value. Nobody makes money without, even people who have money and it amasses through investments or real estate, all these things. That is an appreciation that is still investing in companies. They use that capital to then provide products and hire employees. Nobody just has money and makes money without creating value in some level. And so these fundamental facts that are no longer taught in our schools, are no longer represented in our arts. You look at a film series like Avatar, where being human and having machines and all that is seen as a huge negative, we don't have a corresponding film that says humans are great and technology can be used in these powerful ways. Now, do we need to be mindful of how we take care of more unfortunate people? Absolutely. Do we need to be mindful of how we use our technology? Absolutely. And that is where our morality comes in. And where as people, we have to do what's right personally, and then that can carry forward. So those are the things we talk about at Freedom Fest. We would welcome democratic socialists coming to Freedom Fest to have the conversation, because what I've learned is that so many people who think that they are democratic socialists or think that they're socialists and then that's a better way, they have a compassionate concern that is beautiful and lovely in a lot of cases. They truly care about people that they see are poor or struggling or, have issues, and they feel like government is the solution. And they can't think through how government is actually perpetuating the problem. And especially now, honestly, we cannot say that most of our politicians are not manipulating all of this just to gain power. It's really bad. So we want to engage with people with understanding that says, I see why you think this and why you care, but let me teach you some principles that might change your mind. Let's understand this together. And I'm not going to reject your goals of trying to take care of the poor. Lovely. Let's take care of the poor. Here's a different way to do it that actually works better. Not perfectly, but better than this way.
Yes.
Everyone down. So those are the conversations happening at Freedom Fest.
The proof of that is walk the streets of these large metropolitan areas that are leaning towards social, whatever they call themselves. And you'll see you have to step over bodies and move around some fecal material, et cetera, et cetera. I'll make mention again, John Mackey, since he's going to be debating somebody. So John Mackey, along with a wonderful man named Raj Sisodia, and at the time, the president of this organization, he created something called conscious capitalism.
That's right.
That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, be mindful.
Be mindful.
Capitalism in and of itself, okay, it's an ism. What does it mean?
Right.
Using your resources to create something of value. Okay, that's very nice. And the benefit of that oftentimes is it accrues not just to the people who created it, but the genius of capitalism is that it always moves out. It's always growing. Ayn Rand was just so, and Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan, people that we admire. And even today, even Donald Trump, a big advocate of the process called capitalism. When you get involved with it righteously, conscious capitalism is not just not an oxymoron. It is the path of what America's over, because that's what people see in America. People coming here again for World Cup, their eyes are open. They're astounded by what they see. They see bounty, beneficence, gentleness, kindness, people concerned, saying hello to people, people meeting each other in the eye. That does not happen in totalitarian regimes. And I'll even include places like France and UK. They're in a process to get through their birth canal. Thank God we're here. And again, America is not just the land of opportunity, the home of the free and the brave. The flag, and we said acronym, stands for freedom, liberty, allegiance, and gratitude, built on this one word that you mentioned the other side, giving.
Yeah.
When one sees himself as a giver, not a taker, then you have a shift in consciousness, and everything changes. It depends on the individual. I think part of what attracts me to Freedom Fest, to you, and to the process that we're talking about is individual liberty. The individual makes a difference.
Yes.
One human being. I'll give a quick example, and then I'm going to have you finish it up. Yeah. Everybody knows who Elon Musk is today because of his new economic status. Leave that aside, because he does. Yeah. What he did, though, in building a company called SpaceX, so he did something that anybody in the planet could have looked at and seen and said, I'm going to do that. What is that? It's called a reusable rocket. He said, rockets go, you have to build them, they're expensive, send them up, they come down, they're gone. One-time use. How dumb is that?
Yeah.
He said, I want to build a reusable rocket. Did everybody say, wait, yeah, Elon, you're a winner? I mean, he built so many companies, right? Of course. Very few people backed him. Naysayers were in abundance. And it took him more than 8 years of almost all his wealth at the time to do something that anybody can find on YouTube and stuff like that. With a rocket went up, they wouldn't have to do, came back down, and arms opened up and embraced this 10-story rocket. Reusable rocket. And that was the foundation.
Brilliant.
Up and now the company that's going, that just went public, in trillion plus, it makes him a trillionaire.
Yeah.
And how many people benefited from that? First of all, I'll tell you, I'll make it big. The globe, number one. Number two, United States, because we do things that nobody else does. Number three, on a local level, the hundreds and thousands of people that worked at SpaceX that are on paper multi-millionaires today, whether they swept the floors or they were investing. Right. That's all because one man had one idea.
That's right.
And it didn't work most of the time.
I know. And he had to keep trying. He had to keep getting up, right? Because he had a vision. Yeah. It's
America. You're right. Valerie, you're right on so many levels. Just want to make mention one of the keys, her name is spelled Valerie. The first E stands for education. The second E at the end of her name stands for excellence. Education is the key to making a difference in your world, everybody watching and listening and sharing.
Yeah.
In the world of certainly America, our youth have been ill-served. Education is not the Department of Education in a government agency.
No.
It is not
of your own mind.
It's the ability to learn reading, writing, arithmetic. And we can't finish without talking about two letters that are in everybody's mind. Said, oh, the world is gone. It's over. Things are changing. AI. So think of AI. They have this, whatever they have.
Yeah.
So I want to share with you, and Valerie, you can riff on this, and then we'll.
Okay.
So from my world perspective, because I work in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, AI stands for always improving.
That's true.
When you see AI that way, okay, what are we doing? What can we do? It's faster, better, cheaper. So
that's right.
Let's close it out with you. Closing statements, please.
Oh, goodness.
Or anything.
Barry, what a great conversation. As always, I really love it. And these are like I said, the kinds of conversations that you find in every breakout session, every main stage session, in the hallways, at the social events that happen at Freedom Fest. 3.5 days. I like to say it's 1% of your year, but it fuels the entire rest of the 99%. It's so worth it. And anyone who comes to Freedom Fest or watches the videos on Civil will come away feeling energized, enlightened, educated, and empowered to make a difference. One of the things I'm excited about at Freedom Fest this year is that we are celebrating the America 250 with several beautiful and important experiences. Dean Cain, former Superman actor, is going to read the Declaration of Independence from our stage on the actual day, July 8th, that it was first read publicly in 1776. So that will be the actual. And let's remember, we also have the Freedom Truck is coming and is open to all people for free in the Las Vegas area. If you want to come to the Freedom Truck, just come to Caesars Forum, get a little ticket at our registration. You can go, which is filled with artifacts from Glenn Beck's collection, who will also be at Freedom Fest talking about
Glenn Beck. Wait a minute. We need to pause just a moment. Glenn Beck. Again, these are the show notes. If you don't know him because you live in Pakistan or Bangladesh or Congo, and that, Glenn Beck, you need to know him.
Got to know Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck. Marissa Streit will be
and Mr. Streit of PragerU is coming.
PragerU.
Yes.
And God, if Charlie Kirk was alive, and we mourn his passing, we mourn his murder.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Kirk would have been here.
Yes, we had invited Charlie Kirk to have a debate with Cenk Uygur, and we'll have to find a different way to move forward with that. But we have the Independence Ball on Saturday night, where we will be celebrating not only where we've been, but where we're going. Because let's remember, the signing of the Declaration of Independence was not a culmination. It was the beginning. It was the beginning. And what we have ahead of us is the new 250 years where we have to make a decision as a people in the world. Are we moving towards more freedom, more choice, more responsibility and accountability? Or are we moving more towards statism, authoritarianism, totalitarianism, and diminishing our human capacity on the individual level? And my friends, I want to invite all of you to be part of the movement that leads us towards greater freedom and greater human flourishing. And part of the way you can do that is by listening with Barry and connecting with his community. But you can also do it by coming to Freedom Fest, either this year or next. Next year is our 20th anniversary, July 21st through 24th in Las Vegas. This year, we're July 8th through the 11th. It's going to be a fantastic year. And I urge everyone to go to freedomfest.com, see our full lineup of exhibitors.
All in the show notes.
Of our speakers, of our sessions, of our celebrations. And give yourself the opportunity, if you care about this and this resonates with you, there are people like you that you can come and meet with and be part of. And I welcome you to do that and to be part of the movement where we're going to take America and the world and humanity forward into freedom. It is the only way forward. And Elon Musk knows this. He knows we've got to expand. And we've got to do it and I love that you have this understanding that we have to do it in conscious ways, in respectful ways, in healthful and growthful ways. This is how we move America and the world forward into the future. And Freedom Fest is a microcosm of that. So thank you, Barry. And I would love to invite all of your people to be there, especially those local in Las Vegas. There's still time to come, and there's a lot of opportunities to be part of Freedom Fest.
My dear, wonderful Valerie and Ishmael, I'm so happy that you're here. We look forward to being in your presence. And that is the ultimate present. Be present with presence.
Yeah.
A blessing from Valerie and Barry. And that is, go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Valerie, don't go away.